Hello, how you all doing today? I have a few minutes as I'm at work here, and I was putting some thought to some things. I've heard this several times, especially in the past 10 years. More so now, almost every other day, I may hear this from someone somewhere saying, "Oh, people just can't sit anymore. If it's more than a half a minute, if it's more than a minute, you lost them." So we have to shorten up our things that we do. And when it comes to Christ, and it comes to the truth, when it comes to the gospel, I'm sorry, I disagree. We can shorten up our TV time. We can shorten up our Facebook's times. We can shorten up our times on Instagram and TikTok. We can shorten up the time that we spend seeking pleasures in our lives. We can shorten up everything around us except for the truth that is God. What is our identity? God is our identity if we believe in Him. But yet we've shortened up His time. We've made it 30 seconds, maybe an hour a week. People know our identity by a cross around our neck, or maybe a little fish earring, a bumper sticker, Star of David. If that was all to be gone today, if all those things, all our symbols, insignias, our idols were gone today, would they know that you were a Christian? Would they know that you were a child of God? The identity Christian came back in the day of Antioch. And it didn't come from a church or from a scribe or an apostle, a disciple from Jesus himself. Came from the laymen, the townsfolk, who were not believers. They didn't follow God, but they saw those who did, doing what Jesus did, healing and taking care of sick, helping people. They didn't have insignias and crosses and churches to go to prove their identity as children of God. It was their acts. It was the time that they put in. So yeah, you don't want to listen? That's on you. What's your identity? Do people know that you follow God by your words that come out of your mouth? By the way you serve and care for those around you? Or is it just a cross around your neck? We're in a time now, we just went through Palm Sunday, and coming up on the crucifixion. The time we call Easter. It's really the Easter, we're going to talk about that, but it was a celebration of Passover that led into this moment in these times, and we had to change it for the fact that it was a something that the Jews celebrated and followed, not the new Christian church of the centuries, 2nd, 3rd, 4th centuries. So they had to change things around a little bit. That's easy, that's all in history, you can go read that stuff. That's our symbols, that's our signs, that's what we follow. The whole Bible is about telling us to keep our identity in Christ, not to be like the pagans or the Gentiles. Not to follow their practices or their gods, their symbols, their very holidays. But we're destroyed by our lack of knowledge because we've forgotten God's guidance, His teachings. We think it's okay that we can just change our identity just a little bit to get along with the culture that we may be living in. To the point where we become blind. Enough to say we can't take a day, a week, a month, a year in fasting and praying for our nation. Look at our nation now. Because of our passiveness, we've lost our identity. It's not too late, friends. At least for the next breath it's not. To regain our identities as Christians, yeah. As sons of God, children of God, yes. As His creation. Set apart. And continue and find out where we belong. And find our identity again. And not lose it. For senseless pleasures that take us away. To the point where we can't spend but one day, 1 hour, maybe nothing at all, a week, on the one who gave us our identity to begin with. That's all I got. Love y'all. Bye.